Stop crying about 90s nostalgia for 5 seconds. Half of you watching this weren't even born when the Toyota Supra was on dealer lots, yet you act like the 2JZ is the only straight six God ever allowed on this earth. Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong in the comments. But while internet fanboys were busy worshipping 30-year-old iron blocks, BMW quietly stepped up in 2015 and built the real modern successor, enter the B58. Turbocharged straight six that officially replaced the old N55 and launched right inside the F30 Generation 340i. On paper, it was just another luxury engine update. In reality, it was an absolute unit in disguise. People didn't realize it at first. They thought it was just another overcomplicated German motor that would leak oil and throw codes at 50,000 miles. They were wrong, dead wrong. The B58 wasn't just an upgrade over the N55, it was a total structural reinvention. And if you think Japanese tuning legends still hold the crown for boost-ready inline-sixes, half of you are about to be very mad. How did BMW build an engine capable of handling serious abuse right out of the factory box? Simple. They cheated in the best way possible by borrowing from diesel engineering. The B58 is part of BMW's modular engine family. That means each cylinder uses a standard displacement of 500 cc, or 30.5 cubic inches per cylinder, following its smaller siblings, the B38 3-cylinder and B48 4-cylinder engines. But here is the killer part. The crankcase for the B58 is a completely new design, and it is identical to the B57 diesel engine. BMW engineered both the gasoline and diesel versions using one single common part. Think about that for a second. Diesel engines experience massive cylinder pressures. To survive that, BMW gave the B58 a full closed-deck crankcase structure. It features a complex array of structural ribs on both the exhaust and intake sides, along with an additional reinforcement frame down on the oil pump side. That closed-deck design is the holy grail for high boost. It stiffens the entire block and keeps cylinder walls from flexing under strain. That is pure mechanical overkill. Let's geek out on the hardware changes, because the jump from the outgoing N55 to the B58 was massive. The B58 got a 20% increase in boost pressure right out of the gate. BMW boosted the compression ratio up to 11:1, and bumped displacement slightly from 2,979 cc up to 2,998 cc. That's 181.8 to 182.9 cubic inches. Sure, it added 8 kilograms or 18 pounds over the N55, but what you got in return was insane strength. BMW ditched conventional single-turbo setups for a twin-scroll turbocharger design. That means faster throttle response, way less turbo lag, and better weight and space efficiency. Then they tackled heat management. Instead of running long charge pipes to a traditional front-mount setup, BMW integrated a water-to-air intercooler directly into the intake plenum. That drastically reduces the total volume of air sitting between the turbocharger and the cylinders. Less air volume means instant throttle response when you drop your foot. The red line stayed pegged at a screaming 7,000 RPM, with a bore and stroke of 82 mm by 94.6 mm. Now I know some of you purists are sitting there saying, yeah, but German engines fall apart when you abuse them. Don't at me until you look at the lower end. BMW didn't cut corners on the rotating assembly. The B58 packs a forged steel crankshaft and forged connecting rods right from the factory floor. They also installed an engine-mounted heat encapsulation system designed to lower engine wear and cut emissions during cold startups. It keeps heat where it needs to be so components don't heat cycle aggressively. It retains direct fuel injection, double VANOS variable valve timing, and Valvetronic variable valve lift. And the industry noticed immediately. The B58 was named towards World's 10 Best Engines 5 separate times. First in 2016 in the 340i, then in 2017 inside the M240i, again in 2019 powering the X5, in 2020 with the M340i, and most recently in 2024 powering the BMW X5 xDrive 50e plug-in hybrid. That's nearly a decade of dominating engine awards back to back to back. BMW wasn't done tweaking this platform either. In 2018, they launched a revised update known as the B58TU Technical Update. To shave weight, BMW optimized the crankcase wall thickness and shaved down the forged crankshaft. They also integrated the exhaust manifold directly into the cylinder head housing for faster warm-ups and streamlined packaging. But the real game changer came with another update in 2022. BMW added port fuel injection to complement the existing direct fuel injection system. That dual injection setup fixed emissions issues, improved low-end functionality, and kept intake valves clean. If you know anything about direct injection carbon buildup, you know that addition was huge. BMW didn't just build a tough motor and leave it to rot. They constantly refined it to make sure it ran cleaner and hit harder. But if you think the standard B58 is as good as it gets, hang on, because BMW's M division took this exact blueprint and went completely off the deep end. Early 2019, BMW unleashed the S58, the dedicated full-blown high-performance variant built by M. It debuted inside the F97X3M and F98X4M, marking the first time standalone M models were ever created for the X3 and X4 lineups. The S58 takes everything badass about the B58 and cranks it to 11. Out went the single twin-scroll turbo, replaced by twin mono-scroll turbochargers force-feeding air into the cylinders. Displacement dropped slightly, but bore was widened to 84 mm while stroke was shortened to 90 mm. That over-square layout completely changed the engine's character. Compression ratio was dropped from 11:1 down to 9.3:1, so they could cram insane amounts of boost down its throat without pre-detonation. Valve size was increased to let the engine breathe freely, pushing the redline up to a screaming 7,200 RPM. This wasn't just a tuned B58, it was a high-revving track weapon. Look inside the S58's bottom end and you'll see pure motorsport engineering. It packs a forged chrome molybdenum heat-treated steel crankshaft, forged steel connecting rods, and forged aluminum pistons made by MAHLE, complete with their proprietary anti-friction coating. Like the B58, it retains direct fuel injection, double VANOS, and Valvetronic variable valve lift. By favoring top-end flow over pure down-low chug, the S58 screams all the way to its 7,200 RPM fuel cutoff. It's so good that Wards named the S58 to their 10 best engines list in 2023 when installed inside the G87M2. Think about that legacy. From a family crossover platform to a dedicated rear-wheel drive track monster, this architecture handles everything you throw at it. It takes massive power on stock internals, holds up under track abuse, and doesn't explode the second you flash an ECU tune. It has all the strength of 90s iron, backed by 21st century computer precision and modern turbos. But let's bring it back to the main question. Is the B58 the modern 2JZ? Hell yes it is. In fact, it might actually be better. You get a closed-stick diesel-derived block, forged internals, twin-scroll or twin-turbo power, integrated liquid intercooling, and modular reliability that spans from luxury daily drivers to hardcore M cars. Toyota literally looked at BMW's work, skipped building their own engine, and dropped the B58 straight into the modern Supra. If that isn't the ultimate sign of respect from the legendary Japanese brand, I don't know what is. The B58 and S58 are the indisputable kings of modern inline-six power. But hey, I know some of you diehard 90s fanboys are typing up a storm right now. Tell me why I'm wrong down in the comments, or admit that BMW won the straight six war. Hit subscribe while you're down there, and I'll catch you guys at the next meet.